So there was a news article I saw recently on one of the news websites I go to, and this article is one of those ones that really intrigued me, something I really wanted to see and what it talked about. And it's something that I wish I'd never seen to a certain degree, and it's something I wish never existed and something I wish never happened. But I'm sure a lot of you folks who watch my channel, I'm sure you've seen this article already, but I just wanted to give my take and my review on it. So there was this ad that came out for the United States Army, and I really don't want to talk about it, but at the same time I really do, because we need to get this information out there. So there's this US Army ad, and people are calling it really a woke Army ad, and to be honest, they are not far from it. It is everything that has to do with wokeness in America right now.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
So the premise of this video is this girl, she grew up with two mothers, two lesbians, and they raised this girl together, and this girl is basically giving her an insight on what happened throughout her life, and at the very end you can see that she is actually a real soldier in the United States Army, and she's giving her story on this. So we have quite a few problems with this ad, and the first thing I want to talk about is in this article, they also put side by side, well, not technically side by side, but first they played a military ad for the Russian army. And if you folks have seen that ad, it is pretty darn intense.
Это первый день твоей новой жизни. То, что было вчера, не имеет значения. То, кем ты был прежде, уже никого не волнует. Теперь важно то, кем ты будешь сегодня. Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен? Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты сможешь потом спокойно спать? Узнать себя, познать границы своих возможностей. К черту границы! Ты готов ломать себя до изнеможения? Каждый день здесь боль закаляет. Шрамы, повседневность. Это ты решил себе что-то доказать. Командир здесь только для того, чтобы ты мог увидеть в нем врага, потому что без врага нет боя, а без боя нет победы. Но на самом деле главный враг — это ты. Вчерашний ты. Твоя задача — выследить врага, догнать его, превзойти, стать лучше, чем он, и вернуться назад победителем. Потому что завтра первый день твоей новой жизни.
Now compare the Russian Army ad to the United States Army ad that, you folks have probably seen. It really is just two different worlds. Let me just say that. It is awe-inspiring how different each ad is for each nation, for the ads for their military, for the Army in particular. This U.S. Army ad that came out has triggered really a lot of people, and rightfully so, folks. This really is just disgusting to see this, and really it goes to show, and let me just say, folks, am I going to be bashing the U.S. Army? Well, folks, to a certain degree, yes. And I have the right to, rightfully so. There's a good reason I'm going to bash the Army for this. Now, I'm not going to bash, like, the single individual soldier in the Army who's a good moral person and one who gives up their life for this country. I'm not going to bash them. But who I am bashing is the U.S. Army, the ones who are in charge of the U.S. Army, who allow stuff like this to portray who they are, who the U.S. Army is. And it really just goes to show how far their standards have dropped morally in the United States Army. Just really goes to show how disgusting the United States Army has really gotten and how far their standards have slipped over these past few years. The United States Army was quite a different force back, let's say, in World War II when they were fighting the Germans. They were a whole different army back then. Nowadays, they have just completely changed. And they've changed for the worse, folks, as you've seen in this ad. One other thing I noticed about this video is if you go down to try to make a comment, comments are disabled on this video, and gee, I wonder why. So the whole premise of this video is just to show how woke even the United States Army is getting. This is just an absolute disgusting thing and an embarrassment for our nation. We're supposed to be the most formidable force on Earth. We have the best military on Earth. Let me just play a couple ads from some other different military branches, and you know, maybe I'm being a little biased, folks, but I want to play two ads for you. The first one's going to be the United States Navy, and right after that, I'm going to play one from the United States Marine Corps. Let's watch this, folks.
I think that's what intrigues a lot of us to stay in it, because it is kind of a secret society. No one really knows who we are and what we do, so.
Not everybody can make it through the training. I mean, it's tough, mentally and physically. Not everybody has that commitment.
You'll never find out until you do it.
I've done a lot of things I thought were impossible. Nothing's impossible anymore. You have to be a good individual first before you can be a good team player. I know for a fact how bad Hell Week is. I went through it a couple times. It's probably the most brutal military training anybody can go through. So everybody to my left and everybody to my right, they've been through this. So I know mentally, you know, these individuals are extremely hard. And when stuff gets bad in, you know, in any situation, I know these guys have my back.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Wolfpack, this is Witch Doctor. Requesting immediate hot extract. Take it on.
Here on a team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else on the boats.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself. Promises to one's community. Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
So you see, folks, in comparison to the Russian ad, the two ads I just showed you from the US Navy and the Marine Corps, that's what should be representing us to the rest of the world. Not this woke ad from the United States Army that just pushes forth the fact that they believe that lesbians and gays it's okay. It's a common thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. No, it's everything wrong. This shouldn't how we should be represented in the United States Army and as a nation, America. This is not how we should be represented at all. God does not like homosexuality. It is a sin in His eyes, and America has really gone further downhill in terms of standards and morality. And it's even crept into our military right now. And if you want my opinion, folks, and look, this whole video has just been my opinion, so if you get mad at me, let me know, but just don't curse at me, please. I don't want that on my channel. But like I'm saying, folks, this video is just my opinion. If you don't like it, hey, that's on you. But I'm going to listen to what the Bible says, and the Bible says homosexuality is wicked and evil and it's a sin, and so I'm going to believe that. It's plain and simple, folks. And I don't think our military should be presenting stories like this from people like this soldier here. And I guess the most scariest part, in my opinion, folks, is the fact that this woman, she is an actual female soldier in the United States Army right now. And I really did not want to hear her story. Her story is not inspiring to me at all. In fact, it's quite frightening, and she needs to keep this to herself. Like, honestly, this is not something normal people really want to hear. And like I said, most people aren't really happy with this. It's just a disgrace, and it's not what the U.S. Army is about, or it should be about. And so that's what I want to share with you folks in this video. It's really awe-inspiring to me, and it's just a terrible feeling, folks, because people like me who actually served for some time, whether it be a short time or a long time, people like me who have served in the U.S. military, we know what we are fighting for, and this is not the thing we're fighting for. This is not why we took up our right hand, took an oath to defend the Constitution and the United States. This is not what we signed up for, folks. Stuff like this, and it's something that we really don't want to hear, but yet it's being pushed down our throats, and it's just really getting irritating, and it's just a real shame and embarrassment to the United States Army and to this nation as well, folks. So if you enjoyed me talking about or reviewing this video, I hope you did. Leave a like, comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe, join the audience today, and I'll see you folks in the next video, whatever I make. And I'm just praying that, maybe we can reverse all the things that are being done in this country, including stuff that's happening in our military right now. Because like I said, it is a great shame, and it's humiliating for me to see all this stuff happening in our military and in our nation right now.